Okay, so here's my setup that I've been testing. This is my my mic blimp that I have built, and then right next to it I have the same mic in each stereo pair, and then on the other side I just have the windscreen that came with it, just a nice little foam piece that goes on the end. And so I just have this setting outside. It's a nice cool day, light breeze. Just wanted to see side by side how they performed against one another. So let's listen to some samples and then I will show you how I built the thing. Okay, so here it is. There's my big awesome windscreen. Probably the best way to show you how I did it is to go ahead and take it apart. So first, I've just got these short bungee cords. I had tried using some zip ties, but they were permanent. So if I didn't like what was going on, I had to cut them off, and then I lost that. So the outer part of this, let me adjust here. The outer part is just an air conditioner filter. So it was like $1.29 at the store. I doubled it over and then cut out a little slot to make room for where it doubles over underneath at the mic stand base. So that is the outer portion. On the ends, this is so much fun, so many layers. I have a piece of PVC pipe. So this is like 4-inch sewer pipe. I just cut off a slice of it, and you'll see I've got some padding on the inside. Here's just some foam mattress topper cut to shape. This is actually it's like that landscaping blanket stuff that you put down. So I put a couple of layers of that in there, and then I also used a little bit more of the air conditioning filter. Now the real reason I use the air conditioning filter is because it's black and it doesn't look as silly as having the white foam. That just looks weird to people, but if you make it black, it looks a little more professional. I don't know. This is actually a strainer. A small strainer. I just cut it from the actual strainer frame and duct taped it around the piece of PVC, and that fits nicely on the little cage that I have created, which I'll get to in a moment. I also on the back end have a PVC cap. So this is another 4-inch PVC cap, and for that I just took and made a big old hole here in the back. I took some foam that I had laying around and used it to kind of seal up that hole, and then again I've got some foam in the back just so that the plastic itself does not create any sort of reflection. Now on the inside you'll be able to see here I've got the microphone, so let me pull that out of there. So this is a Nady CM88. I've got a stereo pair of these that I used for testing, and on the inside I do have this, the only thing I did not make, which is a shock mount. This was maybe $10 that I bought along with another shotgun mic. You can make these out of some PVC just by cutting some notches and then putting rubber bands around those notches, or any kind of elastic clothesline or rope. But I already had this, so I was going to use it. Plus it made it a lot easier to mount on the microphone because it's already actually a microphone stand. So what I also have here, and I'm not going to deconstruct the entire thing because I have some of it taped together, but I have a couple more layers of the landscaping blanket paper kind of stuff. I used it because it was really thin, and a couple layers of it really cut a lot of wind. And then I have this other layer of, this is just mattress topper foam. Now what I have underneath it is actually a paint roller grid rolled up. Let me show you another one. So here's the other one that I have started. This one's using a paint roller as the grip, which, as you can see, I put in with some zip ties and then used a whole bunch of JB Weld to kind of hold it in place. But this is a paint grid, a paint roller grid, I think is what it's called. I just took the sides off, kept these pieces on here so it would make a nice seam. I just rolled it up and used some zip ties to hold that together, and that is the basis of the entire cage that the microphone goes in. So for this one, I had to actually cut a little bit of a hole for the mic stand to go through, and then once I put it through, I kind of tightened up the wire mesh around it so that it was nice and snug in there. You can also see that what I did was put some zip ties up in the top to make sure that it was held in place inside the cage. So that's the basics of it. I mean, I put those layers in. I put the early layers on just with rubber bands so that there's you know, something there to kind of hold it in place so it wasn't all floppy by the time I got down to the last layers of things. And you know, I tested a few different configurations, and this one seemed to work perfectly well. I basically went out and just tested it in some heavy wind. Moving around, I tested it with and without the front cover on it, and it had no change in the quality of the sound. So that's the basics of it. Now I'm just going to try to put this thing back together the way I had it.